Hey there. Today, we're going to take apart something you use literally every single day, but probably never stop to think about the sentence. Yeah, it sounds basic, but really understanding how it's built, that's the secret sauce for becoming a great communicator. Let's get into it. You can think of it like this. Every sentence has a kind of hidden blueprint, a secret code. And by the end of this, I promise, you're going to have the key. So, you ready to crack it with me? Let's dive in. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll cover what a sentence even is. Then, we're going to split it right down the middle into its two core parts. After that, we'll zoom in on the subject, unpack the predicate, and finally, we'll put it all back together with a super simple plan for you to use. So, first things first, what exactly is a sentence? I know, it sounds almost too obvious, but the real definition has one incredibly important ingredient. And here's the golden rule. A sentence isn't just some random jumble of words. It's a group of words that has to make complete sense. That's the key phrase. It has to express a whole thought, something that can stand on its own and feel, well, finished. Okay, so now for the first big move in cracking this code. Get this. Every single sentence, no matter how long or complicated it seems, can be sliced neatly into two halves. And those two halves are called the subject and the predicate. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like this. The subject is simply who or what the sentence is about. And the predicate, well, that's everything else. It's what's being said about the subject. One's the topic, the other's the comment. So to make it official, the subject is just the part that names the person, place, or thing we're talking about. It's basically the main character of our little sentence story. And the predicate, of course, is the other side of the coin. It's the part that tells us something about that subject, what it's doing, what it is, or what's happening to it. This is where all the action and description lives. Just look at this example. It's a sentence boiled down to its absolute basics. Dogs bark. Dogs, that's our subject. Who are we talking about? Dogs. Bark, that's our predicate. What are they doing? They bark. Subject, predicate. That's really it. Every other sentence you've ever heard is just a more detailed version of this simple split. Okay, so we know how to chop a sentence in half. Now let's put that first half, the subject, under the microscope. So even if the subject is kind of long, like the really big, fluffy white dog from next door, there's always one single word at its heart. We call this the subject word, and it's pretty much always a noun. Everything else is just, extra flavor. This here is a perfect example. In the sentence, the little child is sleeping, the entire subject is the little child, but the core of it, the main subject word, is just child. The other words, the and little, we call those attributes. They're just there to describe our main noun. All right, we've dissected the subject. Now let's flip over to the other side, the predicate. And if the subject is our main character, then the predicate is the engine that drives the whole story forward. Now, just like the subject has a core word, so does the predicate. And the most essential word in the predicate is always a verb. It's the word that shows the action or a state of being. Seriously, without a verb, you don't have a predicate, which means you don't even have a sentence. It's that important. Okay, so let's say we have a subject and a verb. For instance, birds build. That's a start, right? But build what? The action, build, it feels like it needs a place to land. It needs a receiver. And that receiver has a name. It's called the object. The object is the person or thing that gets the action of the verb. It's the part that answers the question what or whom right after you say the verb. Here we go. Classic example. Birds build nests. Birds are our subject. Build is our verb. And what do they build? Nests. Bam. Nests is the object. It's receiving the action of building. See? Simple, right? But wait a minute. Not all verbs are action words, are they? What about words like is, seems, feels, or became? Those don't really do anything to an object. So what's going on with them? Well, they have something called a complement. The name itself is a huge clue. It completes the meaning of the verb. So instead of receiving an action, a complement will either rename or, more often than not, describe the subject. Let's look at this one. The sky grew dark. The subject is sky. The verb is grew. Now, the sky isn't doing the action of growing to the dark, right? That doesn't make sense. Instead, the word dark is completing the idea. It's telling us more about the sky. It describes the subject. And that's what makes dark a complement.
So there we go. We've got all the puzzle pieces on the table. Subject, predicate, verb, object, and complement. Now let's put them all together into a simple, foolproof plan you can use every time.
Here it is, your 3-step code-breaking guide. Number 1, always find the verb first. It's the heart of the sentence. Number 2, ask who or what is doing that verb. That'll give you the subject. And number 3, look right after the verb and see if there's an object receiving the action or a complement completing the thought. That's the core of it, right there.
Okay, let's run a slightly tougher sentence through our 3-step plan. The jury found him guilty. Step 1, find the verb. It's found. Step 2, who or what found? The jury. That's our subject. Step 3, they found whom? Him. That's our object. But wait, is the thought complete? The jury found him? Not quite. They found him what? Guilty. Guilty is describing the object, him, so that makes it a complement. See how all the pieces just click into place?
So there you have it. The secret code to simple sentences is officially cracked. You now have the tools to look at any basic sentence and see its blueprint, its anatomy. But this is really just the beginning. The real question is, what happens when we start linking these simple sentences together to build something much, much bigger? Well, we'll save that for another time. Catch you later.